How to practically let go, get detached or non-attached from a certain thing. What is the mindset or what is that thing which is going to help you to practice detachment or non-attachment in your life? First thing, why there is a need to practice detachment or non-attachment is because when we get fussy about certain thing, desperate about certain thing happening, we really put ourselves in miserable situations. Detachment does not mean that you get completely non-involved in the activity or run away from it, but involvement is 100% necessary to make something successful. Running away is not detachment or non-attachment. So what do you really do about it? How do you really look at detachment or non-attachment from a realistic perspective? It is when you start understanding the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. When we make fuss about things that, okay, this should go this way only, or this should go my way only, or this is happening according to somebody else's will, when we do all of that nonsense, we are not able to detach ourselves from the results. And when our one eye is on the result and one eye is in today's moment, we are not able to do justice to the present. We are not able to do justice to the process, and hence detachment is very much required if you want to get something accomplished and something at a bigger level accomplished. And that time, this sense of freedom, the sense of liberation is very much important while you're doing this activity. Now, everybody does not wants to live with a sense of detachment. I personally like this way of living where I'm completely involved in what I am doing, but I'm somehow liberated, and while the action is happening, I'm somehow not so much attached to whether the result is going to happen my way or not, because whenever I was so much attached to the result, whenever in my lifespan of 24 years, I've never really felt happy, even if it goes my way, even if it goes somebody else's way. I have somehow not felt that sense of satisfaction for a long period of time. I feel happy if it goes my way in certain, for some period of time. But my complete satisfaction or complete gratitude in my heart comes when I am completely absorbed in the process and I'm not worrying about the results at all. And I love to be in that state. And hence I was researching how do I be in this state again and again, because I have experienced this, especially when I was working for social welfare and development. I was crazy behind those activities. I used to be involved in all of the things that were happening around me. So is when I'm taking my training sessions, and it gives me a lot of gratitude in my heart, where I don't have to bother about the results at all. And what I get as results is so much more than what I had expected from that activity. So what do? I give away the outcome. I don't know where I give away the outcome, but I just focus so much on the process. I put my efforts completely in the process, because understand the law of cause and effect. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Reaction is not in our hands, action is completely in our hands. So why not do the best of the actions? Not to get best of the reaction, but to love and enjoy the process of taking action. So I want to get detached because I want to completely get absorbed and completely enjoy the process through which I am achieving. So I've understood this thing about myself, that real joy for me is not in the outcomes, that okay, what I'm achieving. Real joy for me is in the experience of going through that outcome, like how much I'm growing while I am achieving or pursuing something, how much my mind is expanding as I am going through this path. So for me, that expansion and that growth, which are not very tangible things, there are non-tangible things, you can't really take a measuring instrument and measure that, but it is very experiential. For the people who want to live this sort of life, for them detachment is very important. And I know there are hundreds of people who want to live a life like this, and that does not happen if you have not raised above the level of survival, earning for yourself, having that kind of financial stability in your mind. So if you are somebody who is not yet, financially stable, or somewhere you feel that now my attention needs to be towards finances and some other things that are more tangible, where you can measure it, pay attention to those things and do not really worry much about detachment, spirituality, because once you have dealt with your basic necessities, that is the time to raise above. And talking to a person who needs food and needs to earn on a daily basis for his or her own family, it makes no sense for me to talk about detachment to them. It would be a very stupid idea of me. So understand that not everybody needs detachment in their life. We all are learning different lessons in a phase of our life, and depending on those lessons, realistically we should look at something, that what is it that I need. And it took me a very long time, I think, to figure out that I crave, or I have this for experiences, for this kind of growth, for this kind of expansion. And every human has it. But once you get up level by level, you reach up to that state, okay, now outcomes are not mattering to me. But for that, for some of us, we need to learn those lessons through outcomes, right? So whenever you look at your life incidences, look from a perspective of karma, look from a perspective of karmic lessons. That is when you get easily detached from the results. Otherwise, detachment is almost like speaking of something that is in fairy tales. We need to look at experiences and learn from them, and we need to look at them from what lessons I can learn from this. What was the cause that generated this effect, and what is the cause that I need to create so that this kind of effects gets generated, and giving your 100% involvement to the cause, that is the formula for detachment. This is what I have seen in my life experience. This is what is being taught in Bhagavad Gita, in Karma Yoga. Whichever text you pick up regarding how can you take your actions to the highest level, which is actually called Karma Yoga, is this philosophy, or it is this concept. So whichever way you want to understand, you want to understand it from a perspective of Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna taught it to Arjun, or you want to understand it from your own life experience, any ways you correlate, you will find the same result. When you're detached with the outcomes, you get unexpected results automatically, because you're so involved in generating the right cause. Thank you so much. For more such videos, subscribe to my channel.